Welcome to Turnpike Sports. I'm Dave Weischadle, and as always, I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Doug Weischadle. Doug, it's been years that we've been talking about this, but New York is finally live with mobile online sports betting.
Yeah, we'll go into more detail in Exit 1 and also in the book report. So, but yeah, it finally happened.
There should be bells and whistles or something like that. I mean, it's just been so long talking about this, so long preparing for it. I mean, I know New Jersey has been a little anxious about it because I guess the numbers are 20% of the handle in New Jersey is from New York people coming over to bet online. But, but hey, congratulations to New York, and we'll see how this affects New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, who knows?
Yeah, it could even affect all the way up to New Hampshire, too, because the Massachusetts people that went up to New Hampshire may go down.
That's right. New York borders Massachusetts as well. So
exactly.
People living in western Massachusetts can pretty easily get over to New York. So very interesting. I didn't even think of Massachusetts. Good. That's a good point.
There's going to be a lot of impact.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it will be, but again,
it's the number one media market. Now it's going to be up there with the top sports betting market. So good for New York. And we have a great show coming up. We got a Beatin The House, and then we have our playoff picks. Our first weekend for the playoffs. It's a very exciting time for the NFL and for us because we certainly got to get back on track. We got a book report, and I'm going to be talking about some esports history with CEO of the Esports Entertainment Group, Grant Johnson. They are holding something called LANDuel, and that is the first state-sanctioned in-person peer-to-peer wagering event in esports history. And that's taking place at the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City on January 22nd and 23rd. We're going to hear all about it from Grant. It's been a busy week in sports, so let's take a trip down the Turnpike. Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
Well, New York launched.
Yeah. Wow, what a launch.
As we teased at the top of the show, and just for sake of transparency, we did tape the intro the day it did launch. And also we taped the book report the day it launched. New York mobile wagering, digital wagering, whatever buzzwords we're using now for sports betting on your phone. Mm-hmm. We're taping this exit the day after it all started because I just want to get first reactions here. And just to recap, on Thursday, December 6th, New York State Gaming Commission issued a press release saying that 4 operators were given approval to launch: Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel, Rush Street, which ended up using the Bet Rivers brand in New York.
Okay.
They all launched around 9 a.m., and there were a whole bunch of different questions regarding whether or not, the traffic was going to be there in terms of customers, what types of promos they were going to be able to offer, given the fact that it's a 51% tax rate for revenue.
Yeah.
And there were a whole bunch of questions surrounding it. And also, there were a lot of people wondering what would happen in terms of the tech, whether or not the tech would hold up.
Yeah.
Because there really was no soft launch.
Yeah, usually there's a soft launch for 3 days, and, they work all the bugs out, and then they go live officially. But New York seemed to jump into the deep end of the pool, which was courageous and very interesting, and it seemed to have worked out well. I guess we'll find out a little later on when all the I guess the surveys are done, and
there'll be a lot of numbers, a lot of
a lot of numbers going to be thrown around
this first
and things
week
like
here.
that.
This is being aired on a Thursday of the week here, and by the time this airs, there's probably going to be even more data by the time
maybe
we'll find out some more stuff as the week goes along here. But again, 4 launched. There were 5 more that did not launch. They're still awaiting a regulatory approval for whatever reasons. They haven't released those reasons yet. Could be because these 4 had retail books attached to them. I don't know. I don't think anyone knows right now. That'll be released at some point.
We'll find out.
But Senator Joseph Adabo, he called it. By the 2nd or 3rd week of January, we should see mobile betting in New York.
Well, he called
Here
it.
we are, second weekend.
Yeah.
Right before the playoffs start. As a matter of fact, they got the They got the Buffalo Jet game in under the wire here. Everyone can bet on that.
Yeah.
So everyone's happy about that stuff.
I mean, you want to bet on the Jets? You want to bet on the Giants? Go ahead, New York.
Well, you got Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills.
And
the
Buffalo.
only New York team.
And Buffalo.
The only New York team.
Yeah, you got the Giants, you got the Buffalo Bills, and the New York Jets.
And you have the Buffalo Jet
go crazy,
game.
Yeah.
Buffalo Jet game on Sunday here at 4:30. We'll see what happens there. As in my picks, I went with the Jets plus 16. That may end up being a stupid bet, but who knows? But again, some of the numbers coming out from the very first day were very impressive. GeoComply released a statement saying that they had tracked the betting transaction volumes between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m.
Okay.
On the Saturday where everyone launched, and they compared it to other states that have sports betting for that day, that time period. Listen to some of these numbers. I'm going to go from the bottom up.
Okay.
Arizona had 1 million transactions.
Their first day.
This is yesterday.
Yesterday.
This is Saturday.
Yesterday.
Between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., Arizona had 1 million transactions.
Okay.
Illinois, 1.1 million transactions. Michigan, 1.6. New Jersey, 2.1 million transactions on Saturday, December 8th.
January 8th.
January 8th. Wow. I'm even staying with the calendar. Pennsylvania came in second, 2.3 million. Now that's a lot of transactions, both New Jersey and Pennsylvania. New York comes in with 5.8 million transactions between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. On Saturday, January 8th.
That's incredible.
Now,
absolutely incredible.
I am very impressed with that volume of numbers.
Yes.
I don't know how if it's going to increase or decrease. I'm assuming by Super Bowl you're going to see probably more than that.
Oh, it should be great. I mean, the betting in there should be great.
But 2.5 times, more than 2.5 times than the second closest one, Pennsylvania. And it's kind of interesting also. One of the other questions that was being asked was what kind of promos.
Yep.
Whether or not they will be able to offer promos.
Because of the 51% tax rate.
Exactly.
So that was the question.
And
there were promos.
Here are the promos. Caesars. Basically, they were giving $3,300 in free bets away. You sign up, you get a free bet of $300. You make your first deposit, they match it up to $3,000. That was a great promo.
Yeah.
DraftKings had a 20% deposit match valued up to $1,000. Basically, you had to deposit $5,000 to get the $1,000 full value of that 20% promo. And FanDuel was giving players a $1,000 risk-free bet.
Okay.
And then we had Bet Rivers. They haven't wavered whatsoever. They are always first deposit match, 100% first deposit match up to $250. And it seems to work for them.
Sure.
So they had some really interesting promos. I think you got one too.
First off, New York market is such an influential market. We felt it here in New Jersey. Look, I live in New Jersey. I have a FanDuel account in New Jersey, and I got a promo that morning that says if I refer someone from New York who's in New York, one of my New York friends, we will both get $50 in our accounts. And I'm thinking, is this the first promo to reach across state lines?
Is that a strictly New Jersey promo?
I don't know.
We're
live in New York. Hey, David, it's the big event in the Empire State. You know?
I've never seen a cross-state
Get
promo
your New
before.
York friends in on all the action FanDuel Sportsbook has to offer by referring them with your unique referral link. Tap on the home button. You'll both get $50 in site credit.
Wow. So basically,
is that the first ever
for New Jersey
promo?
People, it sounds like FanDuel was giving $1,050.
Well, I mean, is that the first kind of promo that reaches across state lines? Look, we're 45 minutes away from Manhattan, but we're only 10 minutes away from the Pennsylvania border. Pennsylvania never gave this kind of promo when they launched, unless I'm mistaken. But this was very surprising that people in New Jersey were getting this promo. Well, I got this promo.
I'm very curious to see the new promos coming down. I know there were a lot of boosts. They even had some tech issues. Some of them went down for a little bit.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But again, it was a good launch.
Good.
Exit 2.
Talking esports now. After opening up the new arena, the UBS Arena,
yep,
the New York Islanders have now announced that they are going to be launching an esports team.
The esports has just exploded.
This is going to be the Isles gaming team.
Wow, that's great.
It's going to be interesting to watch because they have deals everywhere with sports books, in terms of, with the mobile sports betting coming into New York. Mm-hmm. This will be interesting to see how quickly the esports betting starts to happen, too.
Well, like I said, there's history being made with LANDuel on January 22nd and 23rd.
That's New Jersey.
But it's in New Jersey. So it's a great first step. And it's, all it takes is one state to take that leap. And I think other states will follow suit. But, whenever I watch hockey, I'm right now fascinated by what's on the boards and what's on the ice. And, we just had an interview with Betway a couple of weeks ago. The first time I saw Betway, I was watching an Islanders game. I said, hey,
that's where they were.
What is Betway? I've never heard of Betway before. But hockey games are the place where I see the up-and-coming businesses for sports betting. So I'm waiting to see something on the esports arena.
Well, this will be interesting with the Isles gaming team because normally when you talk esports tournaments, you're talking Madden, the football.
Yep.
This is going to be NHL 22.
Great.
I've never actually seen NHL 22 being played. So if they actually televise some of these things, they're going to be on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. You can follow them along with that. It's going to be a one-on-one competitions as well as 6-on-6.
Okay.
They have a whole lineup of starters. They're also going to be doing not only the main NHL 22 competitions, they're launching what's called the IGT circuit, Isles Gaming Team Circuit, which will be 6 versus 6 NHL 22 tournaments with 2 open series where teams can compete for points. Any team wants to come in and play, they can go in and play against the Isles.
So in one of these hockey games, you can have 6 people against 6 people? Yeah. I didn't know that. I thought
that's what I'm saying. I've never seen NHL 22 awesome. Being played. So
that is great.
I'm actually very curious to see what you have here. Again, IGT circuit, top prize. The prize pool is going to be $15,000 per tournament. Mm-hmm. Top 8 teams qualify for a championship series. No announcement of what the prize pool will be for that. But again, it's something interesting in terms of seeing not only the major league sports teams not only do the sports betting deals, but now expanding with the esports teams. I know down in D.C., Monumental has esports teams for all their teams, mm-hmm. and they're expanding into the NFT section too as well. I'm curious to see exactly where the IGT or the Isles gaming team starts, becoming more and more popular.
I wonder if the slot company is going to say something to them. IGT, right?
IGT. Well, It's called Isles GT. They're
GT.
Avoiding IGT,
okay.
I believe, for that
Isles
exact
GT.
reason. So.
Yeah.
But again,
I got to tell you, my interest is peaked for the 6-on-6. I actually like that. I think that's going to be a more interesting game and a more closer to the hockey strategy, real hockey strategy, than just one-on-one.
My interest was peaked when I saw NHL 22.
Yeah.
I've never seen NHL 22.
Exit 3.
We've got 2 big names joining the NFT universe.
Everyone's going on to the NFT universe.
I am very curious to see one of these. Ferrari is one big name, and Ozzy Osbourne. Let's do Ferrari first.
Okay.
Then we'll get to the Oz. The headquarters of Ferrari manufacturers revealed that they have done a partnership with Velas AG, which is a blockchain firm.
Okay.
They're going to be doing historical NFTs, cryptocurrencies, basically anything dealing with the Ferrari name. They're going to have an NFT that unlocks, historical aspects of it, other little nuggets people want to learn about Ferrari.
See, that's
There'll
great.
be other things for esports teams
I like
as well.
NFTs when they're connected with history. I know sports teams have NFTs, and they're down through the years their NFTs. See that's interesting. I like that.
And what also part of the deal, Velas will now be the Ferrari Esports Series main sponsor.
All right.
So again, it's one of those things where you're going to see the NFT for the Ferrari brand probably do some interesting things. I mean, it's a historic brand in motorsports,
sure.
And I'd be very curious to see exactly where they take this, because you can actually do a lot with
absolutely.
with a brand like this.
Like I said, the historical aspects of Ferrari are great. I mean, I'd love to see stuff like that.
Now let's get to Ozzy.
who is I think his historic figure as well.
Well, going by his history, and this, I got to see these. He's launching crypto bats.
Crypto bats? Okay.
Yes, as you know what he did with a bat way back when.
Well, what he's rumored to do
with the bat.
I guess that's a rumor, yeah. So it's
well, he will be launching crypto bats, which will be a group of NFTs with 9,666 unique bats.
All right.
He went with the devil number there, as usual. Go with his motif: 9,666 unique bats.
And these are all different NFTs, right? So when you purchase one of the 966 bats, you are the owner of a very unique product. Right?
Not only will you be the owner of a very unique NFT, these are designed to interact with your current collection of NFTs and mutate them.
Okay.
So you're creating more
I gotta be
NFTs.
honest, I have. So it'd be best to get other NFTs and then get this NFT and see how it reacts with the other NFTs.
They are called
really
mutant bats.
All right.
So the NFT will spawn other NFTs.
I don't own any NFTs, so see, this is the kind of NFT I would get if I had other NFTs.
Well, this is going to be. You can do. See, they listed a certain number of collections that it will mutate with.
By the way, I'm still trying to figure out NFTs.
The Bored Ape, the
trying to
Bored
wrap my
Ape
head around
Yacht Club
NFTs.
is one of them.
What was that again?
The Bored Ape Yacht Club, Subducks, Crypto Toads, and a fourth entry into this mutation segment has not been announced yet. And they're going to be doing that.
Okay.
And also, when you do the NFT purchase from Crypto Bats, there's also going to be certain things unlocked, aspects of them that'll be unlocked. That'll be Ozzy specific.
All right. Yeah,
so, I like the fact that he's thinking even further outside the box than other people with the NFTs. He created mutating NFTs. So I've never heard of a mutating NFT, to be honest.
See, I'm still trying to figure out normal NFTs, and now they're mutating already.
Well, thank Ozzy for that.
Yep.
Exit 4.
And last but not least for this week, Fanatics has bought Topps.
This is interesting. Now I'm very curious to see. Look, as a kid, I collected Topps cards, and I still have a bunch of them, and they say Topps on it. Will next time you buy these trading cards, will they still have the word Topps on it, or will it switch over?
They
to
bought the
Fanatics?
brand as well as the company.
Okay, so it'll still be Topps.
It'll still be Topps.
Okay.
Remember, Topps was owned by Michael Eisner, Disney. Mm-hmm. And he tried to take it public last year. He tried to take it public a couple of times through the SPAC, the Special Purpose Acquisition Companies. Didn't work out. $1.3 billion deal fell through last year. And, it was kind of interesting. His deal was screwed up by Fanatics last year.
Okay. All right.
Fanatics got the contract to do Major League Baseball for trading cards.
All right.
Got it away from Topps.
Yeah.
So his merger with the SPAC actually fell through because of all that. And here we are, Fanatics, which, by the way, is still in the running to launch their own sports book.
That's interesting, yeah.
That kind of puts a little twist on some of these things, too. But they now will be doing Major League Baseball cards. They will be doing, Bundesliga cards.
Okay.
Formula One cards. And Topps also held the rights to Star Wars as well as other entertainment properties.
Wow, okay.
So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens here, because not only is Fanatics doing the trading cards, they're not only doing the clothing, they're not only doing a sports book, but they also do NFTs too.
More NFTs, okay.
And
I'll get some of them, and I'll get some of Ozzy's NFTs, and I'll see how they mutate.
I'm just curious to see whether or not they're going to be doing something tied in with, if they do launch their sportsbook, whenever they do it. I mean, they had planned on, they had talks with like DraftKings to do a combo sportsbook with them, but they decided to go their own way. They brought the guy in from FanDuel, Matt King, to run their sportsbook operation. So they're building their own sportsbook. I'm curious to see exactly if they tie in instead of bubble gum in the cards, have a sign-up thing for a Fanatic sportsbook.
Yeah, right.
Or even fantasy.
I got to tell you, it's amazing how many businesses you wouldn't think have any connection with sports betting, is getting into sports betting. I just did an interview with Maxim Bet, the magazine.
Yep.
Who thought Maxim would morph into the sports book? So,
Well, you
but
even
it's
had
very interesting.
just recently in the New York
Which
Times.
is awesome. I think it's great. I love Maxim. I love sports betting. So it's marriage made in heaven.
But you even have the New York Times buying The Athletic,
Yeah.
which
absolutely.
has a deal with BetMGM.
Sure.
And so that was kind of sports betting adjacent, if you want to look at it that way. But going back to the Topps deal, part of the deal that was not included, Topps is keeping on holding on to the confectionery business. You're still going to have Bazooka bubblegum and the Ring Pops.
I love Bazooka.
Made by Topps, but it won't be Topps anymore. It will be the Bazooka companies producing the candy.
It's been so long since I've had bazooka bubblegum, and it's been so long. Those? Are you talking about those rings with the
big crystallized,
big diamond-looking
candy
thing?
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah,
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've had bazooka and that. I mean, it's
the
great.
cavity wells.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I remember having those. You put it on your finger, you walk around with it all day. Yeah, no, it's great.
And all 350 Topps employees are going to be under the Fanatics house
Good.
as well. So they won't be losing their jobs. They're just moving over to Fanatics.
Great. And today's Strip Down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And as always, you can get in touch with Turnpike Sports by calling or texting us at 609-512-5910. That's 609-512-5910. At Turnpike Sports is the show's handle on Facebook and Twitter. At Turnpike Sports Radio is our handle on Instagram. And as always, our email address is info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And don't forget, you can listen to the show via Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, radio.com mobile app, as well as Stitcher and YouTube. You can also watch us on your smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Head on over to turnpikesports.net. You'll be able to watch our video channel there.
Well, we got a big show coming up. We got a Beatin The House segment. We got our playoff NFL picks. I can't believe it's playoff time already. We got a book report. And then I'm talking a little esports history with CEO of Esports Entertainment Group, Grant Johnson. They are involved in something called LANDuel, which is the first state-sanctioned in-person peer-to-peer wagering event in esports history. That's being held at the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City on January 22nd and 23rd. Right after this, I'm talking with Grant Johnson, and we're talking esports. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here.
Use offer code
SPICE404.
They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more.
Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. When I think of esports, I always think of one company, and that's Esports Entertainment Group. They have made deals with casinos, pro sports teams, and they're doing something incredible right next to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. And they're not done. On January 22nd and 23rd at the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City, they are involved in something historic. The first state-sanctioned in-person peer-to-peer wagering event in esports history called LANDuel. And to tell us all about it, we have Esports Entertainment Group CEO Grant Johnson on the line. Grant, welcome back to the show.
David, thanks for having me back.
Grant,
to be here.
It's always great to have you. I mean, we loved you last time on the show, and like I said, you've been on the show before. But refresh everyone's memory. What is Esports Entertainment Group?
Well, Esports Entertainment Group, we're a gambling company that has a focus on esports. Our European operation is pretty much succinctly dedicated to online sportsbook, casino, and esports books. Our North American strategy is definitely focused on esports. We hope to be the first esports wagering platform licensed in the United States. We are diligently working to get it over the finish line before the end of this calendar year, which is rapidly evaporating, to get the first licensed esports gambling platform up. And, of course, as you just mentioned, we are also very active in the building and operating of esports gaming centers. Our Helix centers, we have one up at Foxborough attached to the Patriot Place, and we are in the process of building one at the Hall of Fame. We're building one at UCLA in the Student Union building, and we have another one in Jersey at North Bergen. And then, of course, you just mentioned what we feel will be a game changer for us, our LANDuel product, which we're rolling out the end of next month, 22nd, 23rd. Actually, on my birthday, we'll be live.
What a present!
At the Hard Rock Casino and Hotel in Atlantic City, with the very first, of its kind, player versus player betting platform, which is sanctioned both by the DGE and EA will be with us at that event.
Well, like I said, Esports Entertainment Group is doing amazing things in the esport world. Off air, I told you, I know you're doing great things because I'm referring to you in other interviews that I'm doing. And we're certainly going to talk about the historic LANDuel tournament being held in Atlantic City. But I want to ask you about what you're doing in Canton, Ohio. I recently interviewed Michael Crawford from the Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment Company, and he informed me about the partnership with Esports Entertainment Group. So specifically, what are you doing in Canton at the Hall of Fame Village?
In that facility, we're going to be building. Well, the structure's up, so we're working on when the go live date will be. We're building a Helix Center, which is a full esports and gaming experience facility. It'll be just over 7,000 square feet, where gaming enthusiasts can come in. It's not just for esports. I mean, clearly we'll have all the high processing speed gaming units, so the esport fanatic and enthusiast and people who are trying to become professional players. So we're expecting to attract high school, college teams to come down to the center and play on the gaming units. But there'll be other gaming consoles in there as well, and virtual racers in there. So we'll have something for everybody that has any interest in gaming of any kind. And the facility also, we have food and bev there, so it fits well with the new concept. The Hall of Fame Villages is making a family-friendly vacation destination. That it's not just for those individuals who are succinctly interested in going to see the legends of the NFL at the Hall of Fame. That's obviously on campus. The facility itself, and this is why we fit in so well, is it's offering a full family entertainment experience. They'll have water slides and hotels, of course, and we're bringing in what we feel, and I think Michael would agree with you, or agree with me, that esports, gaming and esports is, if you're under 30, that's where you prefer to get most of your entertainment. Over TV, over movie theaters, it's gaming. And we bring that element to the Hall of Fame Villages, and we're pretty excited about that.
I told this to Michael, too. It's such a great thing for the city of Canton as well. It is just an amazing facility that city is going to have. How did you get involved in that project? Did you reach out? Did he reach out? How did that come together?
Actually, both Michael and I were on a broadcast. It was an investor meeting.
Oh, okay.
It was organized by Maxim. Both the Hall of Fame Villages and ourselves work with Maxim Bank. And we were on this panel together. And during the course of the conversation, as Michael was talking about what they were doing, I just piped up and said, Michael, you need a gaming center on your property? And he said, we absolutely do. Let's talk. And that's really what started it all.
That's great. Oh, my God. And you said it. How great is that location for that Esports Center in Canton? You're right next to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. How great is it to have Esports Center, which will expose a huge number of football fans and sports fans to esports?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I believe that the foot traffic alone already is 2.5 million people will come to Canton to go see the Hall of Fame. So as that's huge traffic right there. Now, most of these are going to be people over the age of 40. I think their average demographic is 40 plus, maybe 50. They have kids, and they're bringing their kids with them. And now they've got an opportunity, if the kids don't want to necessarily go into the Hall of Fame specifically, now mom and dad can park them over at the gaming center. They can enjoy their time going to the Hall of Fame while the kids are enjoying their time in the gaming center, but also for that football fan that's 30 and an avid gamer as well as a fan of football, probably plays Madden on their PlayStation or Xbox. They can now get the full immersive experience, right? They're going to the Hall of Fame, they're going to see it, then they can go to the gaming center and play there, perhaps even get involved with the product we're going to talk about next, was LANDuel. Maybe do a little player versus player, take on their buddy in a match. See who is the best Madden player.
So when do you plan on opening the Esports Center in Canton? I mean, when do you think everything will be up and running?
We're still working through that with Michael. It'll definitely be 22 for sure. That's a definite. We are looking to, I think the timeline right now is late spring, early summer. That said, you're probably also aware that Ohio recently signed their gaming bill into law. And we, Esports Entertainment Group, we were integral in getting, we presented twice in front of the Senate on adding esports to the legislation in the gaming bill, and based on our presentations, they did. Senator Sharon took point on it and added esports wagering, esports gambling into the gaming bill. So that will bring another element into that facility, and why that facility specifically is of tremendous interest to us, and will be a more full service esports and gaming center.
Well, you just predicted my next question. I mean, Ohio just passed their sports betting into law. I mean, I asked Michael that, but before they actually signed the bill, and I said, there's going to be sports betting involved in the Hall of Fame Village, and he says anyone who visits the Hall of Fame Village will have a sports betting experience, the way he said it. And then it was just announced that they did a deal with Rush Street Interactive. Now, you said esports is involved in the sports betting legislation for Ohio. When do you see betting on esports at the Canton facility, or Ohio in general?
Well, Ohio in general, of course, operators that want to offer it are still going to have to go through the licensing process, which is something we're very familiar with. We have 6 Tier 1 licenses. And for those that may not know the difference between 1, 2, and 3, a Tier 1 license gives the gaming regulatory body 24/7 access into your computers, into your servers, so they can monitor AML, KYC, problem gambling issues. So it's a very difficult process to get. I would say after a commercial banking license, a gaming license would be the next most difficult license to get. And they're going to be accepting applications, I believe, in the summertime. I don't know if that's been completely hammered out yet, but that's our expectation. So we would expect esports gambling and online sports gambling to come into effect late in the next calendar year.
Well, speaking of betting in esports, I want to get to the historic event being held on January 22nd and 23rd at Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City called LANDuel. Explain to everyone what LANDuel is and why is it such a historic event for esports?
Yeah, LANDuel is a player versus player betting product, not a gambling product. So that's gambling is a 21 plus, where I'm betting on two people playing the game or two teams playing the game. So I have no influence on the outcome of that event. That's gambling. Betting is very similar to poker. My ability to win the pot is directly related to my skill in the game. And in player versus player betting for esports, it's an 18-plus market. You have to get we have to get legal opinions in each state, so which states will allow it. And New Jersey is one of those states, so we have a legal opinion for betting, and we will have our gambling license as well. Having said that, the game we're going to be launching with is going to be Madden. So the publisher, EA, is going to be with us at the event. And we took a bit of a different tact. I mean, there are quote-unquote skill-based games out there. There's a company called Skills.com that a lot of your listeners are probably familiar with, and I know you are.
Yep.
They have games that they've developed. Bubble Pop, I believe, is still their number one game. And, the skill level is somewhat questionable, but it qualifies as a skill game. Now, we took it to a different level. We took our software to the Department of Gaming Enforcement, the DGE, in New Jersey. It was a 2-year process to go through all the questions and iterations and getting the product tested in their testing lab to get approved as a betting product in the state of New Jersey. And I'm going to be playing you. We're playing a game of Madden. We're going to bet $2, $5, $10, $50. Doesn't matter what we're going to bet. The winner takes the purse, and the house takes a percentage, a VIG in the proper nomenclature. And this is why we're having the event at a casino. We want to showcase it at a casino. Joe Lupo and his team over there at the Hard Rock are very excited. You saw from the news release to have this inaugural event take place in their facility. Once we do that, we now have a product that makes esports and gaming interesting to the casino industry. As you know, the casino industry has been playing around, trying to figure how do they get into esports, how do they get gamers into their facilities. And they've all seen the HyperX facility, which is a cool facility, but it's only utilized when you have a tournament event. So that's not very attractive for a casino for constant turnover. And if you just have gaming units in your facility, then you kind of have an arcade, because there's not casinos, they do have arcades, of course, but they are in the betting and gambling business. So this product in a casino now gives the casino the opportunity, the casino operators an opportunity to have betting revenue generated from gaming and esports. So this is why this particular product, because we work with titles that people are familiar with, Madden, the next one we're going to be rolling out will be FIFA and 2K and titles like that the players are interested in and the facilities are interested in. So those are all the reasons why it's different. We're unique. It's the first of its kind, and once that happens, we intend to roll it out very aggressively nationally, both through casinos and through our GG Circuit infrastructure, which is currently, I believe, we have 680 gaming centers across the United States that are running off our software.
Anytime someone does something for the first time, there are challenges that they have to overcome, whether it be regulatory or logistical. What were some of the hurdles that had to be navigated to get this accomplished, to get LANDuel up and running?
Most of the hurdles are, there's obviously technical issues.
Yeah.
That goes without saying. But because we elected to go the path of, we'll call it over-compliance. It wasn't necessary. We didn't have to get the approval of the Gaming Commission. We elected to go down that path. So we set ourselves to, we'll call it the new gold standard, which means we've got to submit to third-party independent testing in a facility designated by the Gaming Commission. So, that proved to be quite a process.
Yeah, I would bet.
Understandably,
Yeah.
of course. And, they want to go through all how do we deal with, match fixing, how do we deal with AML, KYC, all those other issues, which is very different than any of the other, any of the mobile player versus player or skill betting platforms out there did not go through that process. So why this is groundbreaking is that we've now done the heavy lifting. We took the extra time. As I said, it was a 2-year process, which is a hell of a long time, of course, in the technology industry. But by doing the work early, we now have set ourselves apart from the other operators. That we have passed the test, as it were, with what is, I think, largely viewed as one of the more difficult, if not the most difficult, jurisdiction to get approval in the state of New Jersey.
I got to ask you, where did the name LANDuel come from?
Actually, that came from William Collis and Paul Gavin, who run our EEG Labs division. They came up with the product, working with Murphy Vanderveld and Jack Vanderveld. Those are the 4 key people behind the genesis of the product. And that was their name. They came up with it. It was something they felt described the product for them. And so when we acquired last year, or actually earlier this year, we're not quite next year, earlier this year when we acquired, which was previously Genji Analytics and Helix, we acquired the product that was already underway being tested, and it was already called LANDuel. It's already trademarked. And so we put about $1 million into it to finish it off. And, that's really the story behind how we came to have it still, called LANDuel. And it seems to be a name that works for everybody, so we kept it.
So tell me about the tournament itself. What is the game that's going to be played, and what is the structure of the tournament?
It's going to be a bracket tournament. Before we announced the tournament, just from the news release, 50 people immediately signed up. We're planning to have 250 people participate, but we've made allowances that we could be oversubscribed, but we can handle up to 300 competitors. They will be playing Madden. Will be in the inaugural event, and as mentioned, both the DGE and EA will be in attendance, as will certainly all the casino operators in Atlantic City, and we've invited a large number of casino operators from across the country to be in attendance.
Great.
And you probably know we work with, because I mentioned it previously on many podcasts, IGEA, which is a subset of NIGA. Ernie Stevens is our contact there, and so there will be a large number of the tribal casinos in attendance as well. But it'll be a standard, sudden death type elimination going down, and the top 2 will play for the purse. And it'll take place over 2 days. So we are just now starting to market it. We're marketing it through various influencers in the state of New Jersey. The casino themselves are marketing it, and we are opening it up to our marketing through our GG Circuit network in the Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey region. And as I said, we expect to be oversubscribed for participants, and hopefully we'll also see thousands of enthusiasts come to view. I think the facility where we're having it could have up to 5,000 people watching the event.
Well, you mentioned the purse. What about the prize pool? What can players win during the tournament?
We're still working on what the total prize pool will be, because there's going to be by contribution. The people who are participating, there'll be a buy-in, like a poker tournament. I don't know if we've settled on the final figure just yet. We will be announcing that the purse the first week of January.
I now want to know about the betting on the tournament. What are the bets that can be placed on the tournament? Where are those bets placed, and who can bet on LANDuel?
You can only bet if you're participating currently. So the participants will, if I'm playing, the product is designed for one-on-one events. So I want to play you. We're going to play Madden. We're going to put $10 in each. You win 20 less the house big. In this scenario, because it's a tournament, the participants will put in their buy-in, if you would, and then the purse will be for the total of the cumulative, deposits or buy-ins, if you would. So you could run it either way, which is why it's attractive to casinos specifically, because you don't need to have 300-400 people participating. It could just be 2 people participating. So think in terms of golf. There's probably more money bet between foursomes, individuals and foursomes around the links around North America than there is bet on the Masters. I'm certain of that. Who's going to get the closest to the hole, sort of the updated $10, that type of betting. Well, this is LANDuel. I can beat you. I want to have a match with you. And it could be just buddies sitting down playing a match. And or you could be in the casino. You could log on. You want to play. You put in that you want to play a game of Madden against somebody, and then anybody else in that casino or any of the other casinos that are on the GG Circuit Network, you could pick up that individual. Now, we're working on another element to it, which will be succinctly only available in casinos, and we call it back betting. So I'd say you and I are playing, and so we have the leaderboard of people who are playing, and because we own the analytics company, which is EEG Labs, all my gameplay that I've ever done on, whether it's Twitter, YouTube, or any other streaming platform, all my previous gameplay and all the predictive analysis that can be done on my type of gameplay and all of yours are now factored in. And so we will be able to create odds on amateur play that somebody in a casino in a state where we have a license would be able to bet on us, which will definitely be the case in the state of New Jersey. That'll be the first state we will roll that out in, because that's the state we're going to have our license in. So we're pretty excited about that. That is only going to be available. That is specifically a gambling product and will only be available in states where, again, we have a gaming license, which, Ohio will be the second state we go for. So that probably tells you what our intentions are with that facility.
So since this is the first state-sanctioned in-person peer-to-peer wagering event in esports history, how do you think this event changes the esports industry nationwide?
Well, it's definitely a game changer for us as a company. I think it's a game changer for the industry. As you know, we operate Vi.bet in Europe and South America, and ViGG will be our esports sportsbook product we launch in New Jersey. And that runs very similar, exactly the same, actually, as a sportsbook. It's the pro teams playing against each other, whether they're playing Counter-Strike, League, Dota, etc., and you're betting on those pros. This is different because this allows amateurs and just gaming enthusiasts to play against their friends, play against strangers. It's a type of betting that is more specifically dedicated to the esports gaming enthusiast, the player, versus it's still very early days in the online gambling business. Well, the fact that we'll be the first licensed esports gambling platform in North America, that tells you how early days it is. Yeah. Player versus player betting it's somewhat unsavory background, but this is skins betting that took place. CS:GO Lounge had player versus player, but individuals bet skins. Now, clearly that was a rather negative chapter in esports betting, but $7 billion worth of skins were bet. So this will now make it legal, and it'll be regulated, it'll be controlled, and we think this is going to be, we believe it'll be one of our biggest revenue drivers. So we're very excited about this inaugural event, and we think it will be a game changer for not just us as a company, but for the enthusiasts being able to match their skills against others that play those games.
You know, I've been talking with casinos for years as an attorney and also doing this show, and they've all said it was a goal for them to attract younger guests, and it seems to me that you found the perfect way to do it. Do you think that other casinos will be involved in esports because what will take place on January 22nd and 23rd at the Hard Rock? You said you invited a lot of people to take a look at this, and, you know, do you think this is the launching pad?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As you pointed out, the casinos have been trying to figure out how does esports fit into their facilities. And the options up to now have either been build a stadium, like at HyperX, and host events monthly. That's not a good economic model because the casinos already have event venues, so they could already do that and have done that. And then they have the option of having, you know, whether consoles for gaming or the high processor speed computers brought in, and people can play games on them, but that's an arcade. This, for the first time, gives them that betting product, and even gives them the future gambling product as we get the back betting approved, which we expect that to be a late 22 product. But this is the game changer for the casinos because, to your point, you can go to any casino, walk on the floor, particularly where the slot machines are, and you look at the demographic who are at the slot machines, and it's overwhelmingly 60 plus. Which is fine, but that's not exactly a demographic you can plan your long-term growth around. And, you know, gaming is overwhelmingly the entertainment choice for the 30 and under set. If you want that younger demographic in your facility, you've got to give them something that they want to play.
You know, I've been reading surveys that said the global esports revenue will grow to over $1 billion next year, and that live streamed audiences will hit over something like 728 million people. Where do you see the esports industry headed into the next year?
Yeah, usually when you see numbers like that, they don't include the betting and gambling figures.
Yeah.
You know, you read Newzoot or Super Data, and they usually state that.
Yeah.
But these figures do not include the gambling because right now, all the gambling that takes place is, well, not all the gambling that takes place, but most of the gambling is on gray market or black market sites, and they're overwhelmingly private. So it's hard to get accurate data. Our own figures from research that we've done over the last, well over a year, has the GGR in esports betting at about 400 million currently. And this is, you know, based off operators that are listed in, you know, Malta, Isle of Man, Alderney, you know, where you can get some pretty decent transparency, but that's still, you know, in our opinion, that's our best EWAG, educated wild ass guess, based on, you know, our knowledge of the industry. But now that the U.S. is opening up and Canada is opening up and there's more money being put into the esports sector, we think that number will double in 22. And we think when it's fully mature, you know, we'll get that figure up into the $5 billion. Now, when's a fully mature industry? Everybody has their own opinion on it, but I would say it's probably 10 years till we're fully mature as an industry.
What can we expect from Esports Entertainment Group over the next year? Because I have a feeling I'll probably be talking about you over the next couple of months to other people.
Well, our intention is to obviously after get this first event done, and once completed, it's our intention then to bring the LANDuel product into our own facilities. We currently have, I think the number stands at 29 states where the peer-to-peer skill-based betting is considered legal. We are working on getting as many states, legal opinions, as many states as possible. We think that number is going to come in to around 39 to 41 states, keeping in mind that all the states are currently looking for how to increase their tax revenues, and this is another area for them. So we've had a lot of positive feedback from the regulators we've been talking to. That said, our intention is to roll it out aggressively with the casinos and through our gaming centers, through our GG Circuit network. That's what we're focusing on for the next couple of years.
Grant, we're running out of time, but can you give out your website so people can check out and follow all the news about Esports Entertainment Group, and also information on LANDuel so people can check that out as well?
Absolutely. Well, you can see everything is on our corporate site, which is esportsentertainmentgroup.com. That's where you get all the news releases and updates. LANDuel is a searchable product. We have got the website up, so you can check out LANDuel.com. And for those who really want to get a first-hand experience to see what it's all about, please come down to the Hard Rock Casino on the 22nd of January.
Grant Johnson, CEO of Esports Entertainment Group, thank you so much for coming on and telling us about the historic LANDuel tournament being held at the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City on January 22nd and 23rd. Esports Entertainment Group is always at the forefront of the esports industry, so please come back on and tell us all about the incredible things you're doing. Thanks for coming on.
David, thanks for having me.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll get back to the show in a few moments, but I just wanted to take some time and tell everyone about Bean Genius, the smart specialty coffee subscription service. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country. They feature over 2,000 specialty coffee blends, all at your fingertips at beangenius.com. Here's how it works. Head on over to beangenius.com and take their palate profiler test to find out what coffee best fits your taste. Then select from a variety of subscription plans. Every subscription comes with free shipping, and delivery can even be scheduled for once or twice each month. And based upon your review of each coffee blend you try, Bean Genius actually learns your individual taste preferences and then suggests future coffee blends for you. And now you can get 10% off your Bean Genius subscription when you use our promo code PIKE at checkout. Bean Genius offers a variety of subscription plans to suit any coffee lover's needs. Subscribe with Bean Genius today and start enjoying some of the best tasting coffee around. And save 10% off your coffee plan with promo code PIKE.
People gotta win sometimes.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a giant, colorful check to deposit.
Beatin The House is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Don't wait. Join in the fun now. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Grab a lion's share of the fun at BetMGM.com. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of Beatin the House, where we're going to be talking about the slots and jackpots, the casino wins, the sportsbook wins. We have lottery wins. We've got a whole bunch of things. We even have some table game wins as well.
Can I say something about this segment, which I didn't think would happen? Now, you're talking about all these jackpots, and the great thing about when you talk about these jackpots is you're saying what games these people are playing and they're winning on. You had Dancing Drum, and I found it online.
Dancing Drum Explosion.
Dancing Drum Explosion. I found it online, and I came across it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm in New Jersey, online casinos, real money casinos, so, let me play a little bit, because I heard you mention it during this segment. first couple of minutes, I won a couple $100.
There you go.
I mean, I'm not going to make the jackpot list, but seriously, man, oh my God, Dancing Drums Explosion. I can't remember which one I was playing, what casino I was playing on, but my goodness. But this is my new favorite segment of the show.
Well, I have to admit, I do not think, I have to go back through my notes, or I'll be doing that as I'm going through here, but we do not have a Dancing Drums winner this week.
No, okay. Well, how about me?
Well, there you go.
There you go. I am the Dancing Drums winner. So, this segment's really paying off.
But we do have a French casino this week.
Okay. All right.
So,
but I'm going to have a piece of paper next to me, and I will be writing down some of the slot names that you are talking about, and maybe I'll try it out. Maybe I'll have another Dancing Drum Explosion experience this week.
We're going to start off this week in the Bayou, the Golden Nugget Casino, Lake Charles in Louisiana. They had their very first jackpot winner of 2022 by the name of Janine L. She was a Texan visiting the casino.
Okay.
And she won a, $829,000, $326 jackpot playing the Aristocrat Legend Buffalo slot machine.
Another Buffalo slot machine, huh? Is that the famous one we always see first thing we walk onto a gaming floor, this massive buffalo on a thing?
I have to admit, I do
or?
not know because they alternate the cabinets so often with these things.
But it is
one
of
the
that Buffalo
games.
family
Yes,
kind of
it
thing.
is one of the Aristocrat Buffalo
Buffaloes,
games.
okay.
That's the ones that are all linked together
There's a
at
lot
times.
of Buffalo imagery.
I think they've got a lot. I think there's 20 different Aristocrat Buffalo games. And there's also games out there, Buffalo Thunder, which is not Aristocrat.
I got to try that.
So Janine's Lucky Spin came on the Aristocrat Legend Buffalo. They did not say exactly what her bet was, nor did they say how long she was playing for. I mean, I remember last week we had a guy playing 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And he won. So I don't know how long she was playing, but they had their very first jackpot of 2022, which was last Sunday. So it was January 2nd. Going over to Indiana, we have the Four Winds South Bend in Indiana.
Okay.
We have a Bad Beat jackpot.
Oh, I love those.
We haven't done one of these in a while.
Yeah.
$432,324 was split between 5 players playing No Limit Hold'em at Four Winds South Bend. This was a member of what they call the W Club. That's their loyalty club.
Is that wins?
For Four Winds.
4 wins? Okay.
I'm assuming there's 4
wins,
W's within it. So, but a W Club member from Granger, Indiana. He was dealt 4 threes. Thought he had the winning hand, but lost to a player with 4 fours.
Wow.
Which triggered the Four Winds Bad Beat jackpot.
I would guess it would.
The W Club member won 50% of the jackpot, $216,000 give or take, a couple bucks, a little over that. And the player with the winning hand won 25%. That was $108,000. And the remaining 3 players at the tables split 25% of the jackpot for $36,000 each.
Yeah, okay.
I actually, that's nice, but I still like the way Stations Casino does it.
Yeah.
Where if you get the Bad Beat jackpot, everybody playing in a Stations poker room gets a share of it. I mean, it's less money.
I mean, you don't have to be in the same physical poker room.
No,
you
it's
could
all
be in
their
a
poker
Stations
rooms. All their poker
casino
rooms.
in another part of town, and you'll still win it. Yeah. So.
But again, but the advantage to this is it's a bigger split. 36,000. If they did, if they had multiple poker rooms going at the same time, it'd probably be a lot less.
Oh, yeah.
I think these guys are happy with what they want.
Oh, sure.
Going over to Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. A visitor from Canada pocketed more than $200,000 in a hand of 3-card poker at Planet Hollywood. Did not want to be identified, but he plans to use the winnings, which was actually $200,000, $487. To help his daughter with college costs and additional bills.
Oh, that's good. Speaking of the 3-card poker, I tried a variation of poker that I always wanted to try, and that was Pai Gow poker. I mean, it took me a while to get the hang of it, but it's an interesting game. So
it's all in the side bets.
First time I tried it.
Everything's in the side bets for Pai Gow.
Yeah, well, I don't know that, but I try. I held my own. I don't think I lost too much money, but no, it's an interesting game. I got to really study that a little more.
It's very interesting when you're first learning it. when you stay away from the side bets and you just learn the main game.
Maybe I'll try 3-card poker now too.
But yeah,
now that you mention it,
hey, you even have stuff like Casino War to try and all that stuff.
They have Caribbean Stud and things like that. I
There's so
have
many
always walked by
variations.
those tables. I just don't understand those tables, but you know, spicing up the gambling life, which I'm involved with. So Pai Gow was interesting.
Well, we're staying in Las Vegas. We're going to Paris, Las Vegas. On the first day of 2022, January 1st, a person from Fountain Valley, California hit a mega jackpot playing the I Love Suits game on New Year's Day.
What the hell is that?
I actually did not have a chance to look this up, and I apologize for that, but
I Love Suits.
it obviously pays out a good amount of money. He won
Yeah.
$119,000.
Wow.
And, he didn't want to be identified. So, again, another anonymous winner.
Well, apparently he loves suits.
I love suits. So I'm assuming it's a table game that has to do with cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I apologize to the listeners for not looking that up before doing this segment. Let's go down to Hollywood, Florida. The Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood. They put out a press release, and I had to include this. The Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, this is off the release, celebrated a record-breaking year in 2021 by awarding more than $1.2 billion in slot machine jackpots.
Wow. That's pretty good.
$1.2 billion.
That's a lot.
420,000 jackpots, one jackpot almost every minute.
What constitutes a jackpot? Is it a certain amount of money that you hit $50,000? That's where the jackpot starts. That's what you can call a jackpot. I don't even know.
A lot of times it's 4 figures, 5 figures. $1,500, $2,000. Sometimes they're considered jackpots.
Right.
According to the release, the highest slot jackpot. Boy, that's a hard phrase to say. Paid was $900,000 in 2021. Mm-hmm. That's at the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida.
Okay.
The Tampa had a bigger one. And then they had an average jackpot of nearly $3,000.
So an average jackpot is $3,000.
If you want to go by that
I'm
number.
curious.
I'm sure there were lower
If I
ones.
win $100, is that considered a jackpot?
I think if you got 1,000.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, 1,000, 1,500. It really depends on the casino, what they want to term as a jackpot. But again, I think any money won that's a good amount of money is probably a jackpot to somebody.
All right.
Going over to the Virginia Lottery. On New Year's Day, we didn't have a chance to do this one last week. The Virginia Lottery announced 4 $1 million top prize winners in Virginia's New Year's Millionaire Raffle.
Wow.
That's
a great way to start a year.
They also announced 6 $100,000 winners
I'd be happy with that.
and 500 $500 winners.
I'd be happy with that too.
And this was interesting because it's no names. They'd have a drawing of the numbers on the back of your lottery ticket that you purchase at a retail shop.
All right.
These are off the scratchers and anything else you buy at a retail lottery store. They have a little barcode on it. Then there's a number attached to that barcode.
Okay.
Those are drawn at the end of every year, and these winners are picked that way.
Okay.
And you don't know who won whatever. You just have to check the numbers. The press release was interesting. It's just a list of numbers.
Okay.
It was kind of weird to see that, but this is the history of it. It started back in June 14th, 2007. It wasn't even a New Year's drawing. June 14th, 2007, they had $3 million winners and 3 $50,000 winners. Then they held it the same year on December 31st, and from that time forward, it became the New Year's raffle. So from 2007 to 2021, I guess 2022 now, they've been doing the New Year's Millionaire Raffle.
Oh, that's a good tradition.
And last but not least, we're going overseas to northern France. The Saint-Amand-les-Eaux Casino.
Okay.
I actually had to look it up and how to say that.
Saint-Amand-les-Eaux.
Casino in northern France.
Oh.
A gambler won £2.2 million on a slot machine in the casino after playing a €2 coin. So it wasn't even a big bet. They got £2.2 million. That turns into $2.98 million US dollars.
Oh, okay.
So almost $3 million jackpot. Let's see. It was a mega pot jackpot, and they didn't say what game he was playing. But it was a slot jackpot at this casino, and it was the first one of the year for them. And let's see, they was a record for the casino across all of the house's games since it was established in 1973.
Wow.
That's a long-standing record not to have that big of a jackpot. But again, that was our first overseas casino.
Oh,
I normally
really?
don't do that, but I saw that it was the first one since 1973.
Well, hey, it set a record.
Yep. And again, almost $3 million US dollars, 2.2 million pounds. That's it for this week's Beatin The House. Again, keep those press releases coming in. info@turnpikesportsradio.com is the email address, and we will continue doing the segment for our listeners.
NFL picks are next, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. This week's Turnpike Sports Pro Football Picks segment is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook, now live in New York. Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Redeem rewards credits for bonuses, sports tickets, dining, getaways, and VIP experiences, all by playing on Caesars Sportsbook. Sign up with Caesars Sportsbook using our promo code PIKERF to receive a risk-free bet up to $1,001. That's promo code PIKERF for a risk-free bet up to $1,001 at Caesars Sportsbook. Bet like a Caesar with Caesars Sportsbook. Must be at least 21 years or old to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. New customers only. Problem gambler. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to the Wild Card Weekend edition of the Turnpike Sports Pro Picks segment. I have to admit, I'm looking forward to a 3-day weekend of Wild Card football coming up. It's kind of interesting because this is where they have the Nickelodeon broadcast too.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why that actually intrigues me so much, but just seeing the animations, the goop that they superimpose on the
stuff,
screen,
yeah.
It's just kind of a really different way to look at a football game. Last year, I actually watched the entire Nickelodeon version. I know a lot of people were complaining about it, but
it was interesting.
Yeah, but the game could have been better.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the games because certainly you have to deal with COVID, and there might be people gone for COVID. But you know what? Teams aren't sitting out people just to rest them.
This is it, basically.
If you pass COVID protocol, you're playing, which is great because it was very difficult last weekend to try and figure out who was playing. Not because of COVID, but because of, you know what, we're just going to sit and rest them for the playoffs.
You're telling me I paid the price because I went with Cincinnati last week and they
no
rested.
one played there.
Yeah, no, it was just crazy because anyway. I'm just looking forward to it because it's a hell of a lot more intense.
Well, I can tell you're scarred from last week.
Oh, I'm scarred from the last 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to do the recap right now. Last week I went 0-3. You went 3-0. Mm-hmm. And let me put it this way. At the beginning of the season, I told you I do better September, October, November.
Oh, we have the regular season tally now?
Yes, we have the final standings for the regular season. And I was not helped by going 0-6 the last 2 weeks.
Whoa.
For some reason, the last weeks of the season, last year, the year before, it was week 17, I went 0-3. This year, week 17, week 18, 0-3 both times, 0-6. You ended the season going 8-1 the last 3 weeks.
Wow, okay.
Which basically put you in the lead and let you win the regular season. You had a final record of 29-22-3.
Okay.
I ended up with
damn pushes.
I ended up with 26-27-1. I ended up with a losing record after leading most of the season. I led going in.
Well, it's a marathon.
Week 17.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Well, my marathon, I quit. So obviously, it's just the last week of the season, last 2 weeks here, just I couldn't figure out a game. I just misread everything, it looks like, especially that last week. Anyway, we're doing Caesar Sports this week for the wild card games. We've got, 6 games to choose from, but we're still going to do pick 3, either totals or spreads, no money lines. And we'll just see what happens. We're doing Tuesday morning spreads from Caesar Sportsbook.
Yep.
Congratulations to their launch in New York, by the way.
Yes.
And
remind New York bettors, always keep checking the lines.
Yes.
Because they change, especially in this COVID era of ours. They change dramatically.
Honestly, I think New York bettors are ahead of the curve.
Sure.
This
I mean, they've been
area,
betting.
They've been betting in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So they're ahead of the game with this stuff. Anyway, since you won the regular season, why don't you kick off Wild Card Weekend?
Well, you know what? I'm going to start off with, in my opinion, the game of the week. The Arizona Cardinals versus the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are favored by 4 points with a total of 50. I think these are two great offenses, and that'll put a lot of points on the board. This is the third time these teams are playing each other this year, and the first 2 times the total ended in the mid-50s. And you know what? The total this one is 50, so I expect this game to hit the over for the third time this year these two teams are playing. So I'm surprised it's just 50. I would think it would be like a 51 or 51.5. But and this is one of those ones you might want to keep checking on throughout the week. But
that may go up.
The total is 50 right now, and guess what? I'm taking the over 50, like the other 2 games they played.
Well, my first game for Wild Card Weekend is the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are favored by 6 in this. The over-under is 49. Las Vegas ended their season with a great game. 67 points in a 35-32 overtime win against the Chargers. I took a look at this. Vegas finished their season 4 straight wins. They went 3-1 against the spread. They're 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games as an underdog, and 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games as a road underdog.
That's the team that got hot at the right time.
Yeah, and they're still not 100% healthy either.
Yeah.
That's even more impressive what they're doing here. The Bengals, they rested everybody last week, and good for them, bad for me. But the Bengals have been averaging 27 points a game this season, and while Vegas has been inconsistent, they actually have been averaging 22 points a game. Like I said, their Bengals are favored by 6. I'm very tempted for that +6, but I'm seeing the way these teams are scoring. I'm doing the over 49.
All right, my next game is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 12.5-point favorites. And the total is 46.5 points. I love the way the Steelers have been playing. I picked them last week because I thought they'd be playing with a lot of emotion. I think they're going to be playing with a lot of emotion this week as well. And don't get me wrong, I expect Kansas City to win this, but I just think 12.5 points is just too much. The Steelers are 4-1 against the spread against the AFC in their last 5 games, and the Chiefs have just had trouble covering games this year. I think the Steelers are going to keep this game closer than the 12.5 points that the books are putting on this one. So I'm taking the underdog Pittsburgh Steelers to cover because certainly Kansas City, I think, is going to win this.
I was very tempted with that game.
Yeah, it's just too many
But
points.
the problem is Kansas City is a different team in the playoffs. And I just don't know what to expect from Pittsburgh right now. They've been playing inconsistent. But they're another team getting hot at the right time. My next game. Philadelphia Eagles down in Tampa Bay playing the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are favored by 8.5 points. There's an over-under of 49. The last times these teams played, Philly got the backdoor cover. It was a 7-point spread. Philly lost 28-22, 6 points. But it was a 50-point total. Tampa Bay has been scoring like crazy. They had 41 points in their finale against the Panthers. They've had 30 or more points in 6 of their last 8 games. The only the oddity was that shutout that they had a couple weeks back, but other than that, they've been scoring like crazy. The Bucks have scored at least 30 points in 6 of their last 8 games. Brady doesn't have all his offensive weapons either. Philly, on the other hand, have been scoring at least 20 points in their last 5 straight games. I'm looking at 30 and 20. I'm thinking that 49 is probably going to go up a little bit by the time game time hits. I'm doing the over 49.
All right, my last game is the New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills, who are favored by 4 points with a total of 43. Unlike the Las Vegas Raiders, who we just talked about, the Patriots are not playing their best football at the end of this season, which is a rare thing to say in New England. But I mean, Buffalo also had a tough time against the Jets, but they still covered that big number. What was it, 16.5 or something?
It was 16.5. They won by 17 with two touchdowns in the last 5 minutes.
They covered, and they have a tendency to cover. The Bills are 6-1-1 against the spread against the AFC East, and are 3-0-1 against the spread in their last 4 games. Hey, the Bills cover their games, and with Mac Jones starting his first playoff game, I like the Bills' chances in this one. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills and laying the points.
Well, I took this game as well.
Oh, here we go. Good.
Other than when the Patriots played them and only threw 3 times, threw 3 passes, the Bills these two teams just put up points against each other. The last 3 or 4 games they played against each other, they've had a total of 45 points or more in the games. Bills' offense have been scoring 27 points or more each game since Week 13. New England also has been scoring at least 20 points in their last 3 games. So, with the caveat that I don't know what the weather's going to be like at this point.
The
weather's going to decide this
game,
yeah. Especially in Buffalo. I think if it was in New England, I would be looking at this game differently. But it's in Buffalo. I think both these teams are actually going to just put a foot on the pedal to the metal and just go straight ahead, scoring like crazy. I think that 43 is low.
It is. I
over.
I wonder if that's a weather thing. They're in Buffalo again, and the weather's going to be bad. It's January.
It's the weather. Plus, also, I think everyone's got that other game in mind where it was just 3 passes. It was a low-scoring game. It was the lowest-scoring game I've seen these two teams play in a long time.
Yeah.
But again, I still think that 43 may go up by the time kickoff happens, depending on the weather. I mean, if they have snow or ice, you may see it go lower.
Yeah.
But right now, I think that's kind of a low thing. If it's a clear field, they're going to go over that 43.
Watch the weather in that one, yeah.
So let's recap. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm taking the over 50 points in the Cardinals-Ram game. I am taking the underdog Pittsburgh Steelers to cover the 12.5 points that the Kansas City Chiefs are favored by. And I'm taking the Buffalo Bills and laying the 4 points against the New England Patriots.
And I did a over buffet here. I did.
It was all over.
It was all
I
over.
won in 2 overs last week. So.
I'm just seeing the offense is playing really good. The over 49 in the Raiders-Bengals game, the over 49 in the Eagles-Bucks game, and the over 43 in the Patriots-Bills game. As always, these picks will be put up on the blog. Head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button. After the last 2 weeks of mine, I really wouldn't want to put my picks up because that was just a horrible performance, but they'll be up there. Feel free to comment on them wherever you see us. Turnpike Sports on Twitter, Turnpike Bets on Twitter as well, Turnpike Sports Radio Instagram, Turnpike Sports Facebook, and again, you can comment to us on our blog as well.
The book report is next, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore. Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here.
Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more.
Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we look at the state and national sports betting reports, legislative updates, we have deal updates, we have a very important launch to talk about.
Very important.
Before we get to that, I just want to tell you kind of a weird week because it's the first time in this book report, in the print version, I've had to separate out several different months.
Okay.
We've got 4 different months reporting. We have September, October, November, December.
Okay.
But before we get to all that, welcome New York
Yes,
to the digital wagering age.
Yes, the New York launched its mobile sports betting last weekend, and congratulations, New York. Sure, it's going to change the sports betting universe here.
Well, with the launch of New York, that means about a third of the population of the United States now has access to digital wagering.
Great.
Which is it's an amazing number.
What is it? Something like this is the biggest populated state to allow sports betting. Did I read that right?
Of the 4 largest states in the United States, New York is the only one that's offering digital wagering.
Okay.
You have California, Texas, Florida, New York. I don't know if you can count Florida. They had it for a month.
By the way, is that the new buzzword now? Digital wagering. I'm calling it mobile sports book.
You can call it whatever
digital
you want.
Wagering.
There's
Digital
so many different
wagering.
buzzwords now
Okay.
that somebody's got to create a lexicon of all these different words that are being used to say the same thing over and over again.
Can I say this was a very strange launch as far as launches go? Usually, you know, when a state launches mobile sports betting, there's 1 or 2 that jump out of the pack and they start it right away, and they usually have 3 days of a soft opening. But no. Saturday, 4 sports books just jumped online and we're ready to take bets.
Well, again, this is New York. New York is a completely different animal than everybody else in this country. It was kind of interesting because the New York State Gaming Commission just issued a release on Thursday saying that the following Saturday, it was December 6th, I believe, the press release came out saying that the following Saturday, the 8th, these 4 sportsbooks were cleared to launch no earlier than 9 a.m. on a Saturday, and they were FanDuel, DraftKings, Rush Street, and also Caesars. Now, again,
the interesting thing is we knew this was coming because, living in where we live, we started seeing TV commercials. Coming soon to New York. So when they start doing ad buys, it's very close. And also, we had information from one of the sports books we work with that they were putting our name on the, what was it called now?
They were the sports books had to put a list together for the Gaming Commission of affiliate marketers.
So we were put on the list for affiliate marketers.
That was one of them who didn't launch.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying who it is or anything like that, but I'm just saying we knew it was getting close when all these things were happening. So
actually,
that was interesting.
Actually, the one sportsbook that did that about 3 weeks ago.
Put our name on the affiliate list.
It's still not. It's not one of the ones that has launched.
Mm-hmm. Well,
the major 4 that were given permission on Saturday at no earlier than 9 o'clock. No one knows why the other ones were going to be issued on a rolling basis. Mm-hmm. And the first 4, and then you had 5 others that were not in the initial launch, I guess you can call it that, the launch announcement. Ballybet, PointsBet, BetMGM, Resorts World, and WinBet. Now, no one knows why, these 5 were not allowed to launch at the same time as the other 4.
By the way, while we're talking, they could have launched by now.
Yes, they
because
could.
we are.
Well, they're not allowed to launch
taped
today.
Yeah,
this Saturday. We're taping Saturday just after the launch of this time frame. Anyway, let me put it that way. But again, the 4 that were given the initial launch did have retail books in the state.
Yep.
Now, maybe that had something to do with it. We'll find out at some point, just not right now. But again, 4 were given the permission to launch. 5 are going to be issued launch orders on a rolling basis. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how the rolling basis affects the standings. In terms of who's going to be number 1 for the longest period of time.
Sure.
And
because I can tell you here in New Jersey, DraftKings launched first, and it was number 1 sportsbook for a long time until FanDuel overtook it. But
and it took FanDuel a little while.
Yeah, no. So being first in the market has its advantages, but when New York launched, they had 4 sportsbooks going right away at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I want to see who goes overboard on the promos. Because that 51% revenue share is a killer in most other states. I don't know how it will be in this state. Will it really impact it? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the impact of that tax rate in terms of what sports books are going to offer, whether they feel comfortable going full bore with the promos like they do in Jersey, Pennsylvania, Arizona, all the other states. I don't know exactly what they're going to be able to do in terms of talking about promos. Because a lot of it's not taken out of the tax revenue.
Yeah, no, we'll see what kind of promos they're offering. Hey, congratulations, New York.
Right, and as soon as that announcement came out from the Gaming Commission, I guess we should talk about this one deal that was announced. FanDuel became the official, let me get this right, the official sports betting partner of the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
It's same kind of deal where it's the in-game signage, digital signage as well. They're able to use the Buffalo Bills logos and IP, intellectual property, on their website.
We're going to see a lot of those deals in the next coming weeks.
And they're also going to be the presenting sponsor of the Bills-themed podcast, Bills by the Numbers. Okay. And it's going to be hosted by Steve Tasker and Chris Brown.
Wow, great.
Remember Steve Tasker?
Yeah.
The guy with the giant helmet.
Yeah, really huge helmet. So, hey, great, good for them.
And, of course, this was interesting that Google came out with this. They're going to allow the licensed sports betting operators to run ads on their platform in New York. They had issues with it in other states. But I don't know. I guess it's because it's New York.
New York is the number 1 media market.
Will that allow other things to be overlooked
Who knows?
in this area?
We'll see if everything loosens up. But talking about advertising, they are fast and furious here. Boy, we thought it was crazy when it was only Pennsylvania and New Jersey with mobile sports betting. Now, wow!
Can you
the
imagine
amount of commercials?
Can you imagine the area of North Jersey, particularly Northeast Jersey near New York City? That TV, the radio, the billboards, it must be crazy with both New York and New Jersey ads.
Oh, sure.
And then also in Northwest Jersey, you have New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania.
And look, we're part of this too. We're not absolving ourselves when we go to commercial break.
We are definitely included in that.
You're going to hear some sportsbook advertising, so So hey, we're just saying it. There's a lot of it.
Well, congratulations to everyone in New York for launching. But there's another state that came out with their numbers that we got to take a look at, and actually, they may be one of the biggest states recently to come out and do this. Arizona.
Everyone loves Arizona. Earlier this year, we had interviews with the vice president of gaming for the PGA Tour and NASCAR, and they both spoke about Arizona and how great this market's going to be, and it looks like it's going to be great.
Well, they finally released their September and October numbers.
Yep.
And maybe by the time this airs, they'll release the November numbers. I don't know.
Let's release them all now. Let's go.
They just flooded the market here. But again, Arizona has shown the potential to be a major player right off the bat.
Absolutely.
Their first month, September, $291.2 million. That's the most in a debut by any state in the post-PASPA era.
Great.
The closest one was... Let's see. It was just a kind of a weird statement that the first month was $291 million. Then they had 486.1 million bets in October. So they basically doubled their handle in October.
Great.
It's kind of interesting to see exactly. And Arizona's still not even a mature market yet. They haven't even launched a lot of things.
It's very new, and like I said, everyone's talking about it, and everyone's saying how great a market it's going to be eventually. I mean, it's a great market right now, but can you imagine how it grows?
Well, it again, I think the way they structured their law may actually even be in some instances better than the way Jersey did because of the pro sports teams getting licenses. I don't know if Jersey has that yet, getting sports betting licenses. I know they can do deals with them.
Well, the only pro sports team, technically it's the New Jersey Devils. That's the only sports team. But however, New York Jets and New York Giants play in New Jersey.
They all have marketing deals with sports books, but they don't have sports betting licenses.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But again, Arizona's handle of $486 million for October ranks 7th among the 24 states that have been accepting wagers. Their first 2 months together added up to $777 million in handle.
Wow.
That basically assures them to be the quickest to $1 billion.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
Unless something really odd happens in November where everything drops off. I mean, they're less than.
So they haven't released their November or December numbers, right?
No, they have not released November, December. But again, everyone's anticipating, judging by the first 2 months, we're going to have $1 billion month, $1 billion state in 3 months.
Yeah, probably.
I didn't expect to see that from Arizona. I mean, I kind of thought they were going to get there fast, but not that fast. 3 months. That's almost unheard of with some of these things.
Everyone was talking about it.
Well, let's get to some of the other numbers that have been released here. We actually had Illinois release their October numbers, so with Arizona also releasing their October numbers as well. We can close the book on October.
Okay, good. Can we finally be done with October? Okay.
October posted a record national handle.
This is for October. This is all the states.
This is October. Okay. This is national handle, national monthly handle record, $7.5 billion.
Wow.
The previous record was September, which was $5.5 billion. So that's almost like a 40% increase.
Well, you had the World Series in October. There was a lot of betting in the World Series, and you had all the sports playing. So October is always a great month.
Well,
great sports betting month.
Again, it's a full sports betting calendar. We had more states launched at the time, or operational, I should say. They didn't launch, but they were operational at the time. And again, the almost $500 million by Arizona really helped that number.
Sure,
a lot. Sure. Illinois became the fourth state to clear $8 billion in post-PASPA era handle. They've joined New Jersey, Nevada, and Pennsylvania as the only states to cross $8 billion mark.
Wow.
The Iowa, actually, in 2021, this was kind of under the radar. A lot of people really haven't talked about it too much. Iowa passed the $2 billion mark for a yearly handle.
Wow, Iowa, huh?
Little Cornhusker state, I guess, right?
I guess.
So, there's a lot of benchmarks being made. Illinois' record.
Actually, Cornhuskers are Nebraska.
Okay. See, there you go.
Iowa, the Hawkeyes. But I would assume there's corn in Iowa.
It shows my lack of college football knowledge.
It's geography. You got to do the geography.
That's not geography.
Well, it's agriculture, too.
But anyway, going across even my mistake there. Illinois' record November revenue, $79.3 million. They set a state record revenue. Sixth highest nationally in the post-PASPA era, but only the third highest in November.
So this is Illinois.
Yeah, okay. I'm jumping around here because there's so many different numbers being thrown out there. I was getting confused as I was writing some of these down. Some of these were November, some were December. But Illinois, like I said, record revenue of $79.3 million in November. Third highest in November. New Jersey and Pennsylvania had higher. There's just tons of records here. November in New Hampshire. New Hampshire is now approximately $90 million away from reaching the $1 billion mark.
New Hampshire, huh?
Yep.
And they have one sports book, right? They have DraftKings.
They have one
operating.
sportsbook operator.
Operating, yeah.
Yes.
So they have multiple DraftKings sports books, I guess.
And New Hampshire also had a revenue record in November of $6.172 million.
Wow.
So it's kind of weird seeing some of these numbers from some of these smaller states like New Hampshire. Is there a competition between New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Connecticut to see who gets something first? I wonder if there's some kind of friendly competition going there. I know Rhode Island is getting close to the $1 billion mark, too.
No offense to New Hampshire, there's nothing else to do there. I mean, if you're not a skier, guess what? You're sports betting because there's nothing else to do there.
Colorado released their November numbers. They had state records for revenue, $36.8 million, and in their taxes, $2 million.
Is that a record, too?
That's a record, too.
Wow, okay.
Tennessee also had record revenue and record taxes in November. There's a lot of little benchmarks being set here. I have to also say this. 2 states that we love talking about released their November and December numbers. Colorado with their November numbers. Oregon with their December numbers.
Oh, I think I know where this is going because these are the only 2 states that we talk about. We
always
talk about them
this.
in one because of one thing, and that's table tennis. Are you going to go with the table tennis thing?
I'm hitting the table tennis.
All right, table tennis.
I'm just fascinated by this industry.
Wow.
I've never seen an industry like this survive like this year round here. Oregon, December had table tennis take 5th place in the most bet on sports handle wise.
Okay.
$1 million handle, 817 players, 17,000 bets with an average of $61.50 per bet on table tennis.
I wonder why that's not catching on in other states. It seems like Colorado and Oregon are the 2 states that really love their table tennis. I'm just not sure why, like Pennsylvania or New Hampshire or whatever, they haven't really jumped on the table tennis bandwagon.
I don't know. I don't follow the table tennis industry.
It's the only time I hear about table tennis is when you talk about Colorado or Oregon.
It's just fascinating, this industry that these 2 states have. And in Colorado, and these are the November numbers. Two different months here. Table tennis was the 8th most bet on sport in terms of handle. $7.76 million in handle.
Wow.
7.75 million of it online. Table tennis accounted for 1.7% of the total handle in the state. I just cannot figure that out.
Well, they like their table tennis.
I actually have to sit down. And
I guess you can win a lot of money on it, maybe. I don't know.
Obviously, I mean, they're betting $60 a pop in Oregon on table tennis. I don't even know the names of the players.
No.
So, again, it's kind of a cottage industry, I guess you can call it.
It's making them money.
I guess so. A couple launches to hit. We have Arizona Sahara Bets announced that they will be launching January 12th. Sahara Bets is owned by Alex Morello, who also is Morello Gaming. He's also the owner of the Phoenix Coyotes. Arizona Coyotes or Phoenix Coyotes? I cannot remember the name. I always get those the Coyotes designation.
I think it's Arizona.
Is it Arizona Coyotes?
I don't know.
Or is it Phoenix? Whatever it is. They're partnered with the team.
Okay.
The hockey team. And also the owner of the team also owns the Sahara Las Vegas and the Grand Sierra Resort in Reno, which tells you why Sahara Bets is the name of the company, the Sahara Las Vegas. I'm very curious to see if they expand outside of Arizona.
I'm checking.
With the Sahara Bets.
It's Arizona Coyotes.
Arizona Coyotes. But I'm just curious to see if they actually do a Sahara Bets mobile app in Nevada.
I don't know. It's they border the state, so you would think they would, and they have a presence in Nevada. So,
like I said, the guy owns 2 casinos in Nevada, so maybe it will be expanding that way. I don't know, but over in Louisiana, Boyd Gaming announced they're going to be developing a new treasure chest casino facility. It was one of the old riverboats.
Okay,
they're going to move it onto a land-based facility now.
All right.
And they're going to be doing a 47,000 square foot casino, new restaurants, bars, 10,000 square feet of convention and meeting space, and a FanDuel branded sportsbook.
Oh, great!
Now everyone's talking about the digital launch in New York. We've also got Louisiana. Louisiana is going to be launching soon. I just saw a release that there's the possibility that Louisiana's mobile betting industry will be launching at the start of the NFL playoffs this year.
Good for them.
It was not the case a week ago.
Hey, look, if you can jump online before the playoffs, especially before the Super Bowl, that's what you want to do.
Well, definitely before March Madness.
Oh yeah.
I'm very curious. Louisiana is going to be crazy with college sports betting with March Madness.
Oh no, it should be great.
Even more so than the Super Bowl. Couple legislative updates to hit before we get out of here for the day. We have a whole bunch of different bills being filed in some of the southern states. We have Missouri, Mississippi. Mississippi introduced a bill that would allow residents and visitors to play sports bets from their smartphones. They hope to have mobile sports betting launched by January 15th. I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see exactly how quickly they move on that. You have Massachusetts. I almost said Mississippi again. I think we hit this in exit one of the main show, but Massachusetts State Senator Eric Lesser declared his candidacy for lieutenant governor of the state. The election's going to be held in November. One of the pillars of his platform is going to be legalizing sports betting in the state.
Yeah, well, good luck to him, but I don't see it happening. But we'll see.
It'll be kind of interesting to see exactly where that goes. I mean, there's been so many false starts for sports betting in Massachusetts, and at some point they got to get it right.
Yeah.
They're losing too much money. They're now surrounded, basically. You have New Hampshire to the north, Connecticut and Rhode Island to the south, and New York to the west.
Yeah. I mean,
so
they're on an island there. So
they're them in Maine and Vermont. Even Vermont's got a bill somewhere, I believe, in their legislature for sports betting. It'll be kind of weird to see Vermont launch before Massachusetts. Vermont has nothing, no casinos. They barely have a lottery.
Yeah.
So, but and Maine, I don't know if that's going to get through again this year. So. But again, Massachusetts has better get off their duff and try and figure out what they're doing there. One last little note, Fox Sports, the Belmont Stakes, they purchased it, the rights to the Belmont Stakes. It's going to be renamed Naira Bets Belmont Stakes.
Great.
As everyone knows, Fox Sports has a minority stake in Naira Bets. They also have Fox Bet.
Yep.
So that's going to be kind of interesting to see exactly where that goes with the new sponsorship. I actually think that's a great idea.
No, it is a great. I love NYRA, New York Racing Association, for people who don't know it. So love NYRA bets.
And we mentioned Florida in passing earlier. Even though Florida's sports betting industry is on hold right now, and that ballot initiative doesn't seem to have enough signatures at this time, they haven't gotten them approved yet by the state. Yep. There's a whole bunch in there that they're still going through. I don't know if they're going to make it by February 1st or not. All indications say no. But the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, has basically just continued business as usual.
Right.
He just named 3 people to the Florida Gaming Control Commission.
Yeah, well, good.
The very first 3 members of the Gaming Commission have been named, and they are awaiting approval by the state Senate. I don't know what they're going to be doing since there's no sports betting industry at the time. I guess they'd be focusing on the casino and horse racing, dog racing, all that stuff.
Sure.
So that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Any questions, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. There'll be a full-blown print version of this online after the episode publishes. Head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button, and you'll see a print version which has many more stories and a lot more numbers than we were able to cover here in this episode. And also, if you're watching on TV, there were also additional stories on our news ticker scrolling across the bottom of the screen as we are doing the show.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.